Through the trees you will see Sasquatches, marching their bikes back up the hill. Will is always looking. These creatures are called cyclists. They frequent their day by going downhill and then back up the same hill. They often steal bicycles off fitter and more intelligent cyclists because they realise that they are better on a hardtail than a full suspension bike. It is for this reason Willius Tutus is often referred to as Dickius Minimus because he has such a small one. Nathan, the weaker and confused cyclist of the three, doesn't realise that you're supposed to ride it, and it doesn't work. His cyclist is now dead, and he unfrequently back to the herd. Who is a legit biker. There are a lot of imitation bikers, and those who do it just for social cohesion, like Jackius Maximus.
You want Nathan? Yeah, but what they practice.
The like to consider themselves quite experienced cyclists, like Grantius Dickimus Minimus, likes to try and show off, but then ultimately fails. The Willius Tutimus Minimus is driving a clearly superior bike that sounded like it was braking! How your balls were feeling?
Yeah, they've seen better days.
They've seen better days.
Definitely seen better days.
There is a rip.
Yeah, in my body as well.
And here we have evidence of Sasquatch. Sulu is the star of the show. Ooh, are just along for the ride. Will is standing like a teapot. Documentary day 2. The dirt under our feet is very slippery, but it's important that the bicyclists practice these things called berms. They try and get as high as they can up the berm to get round the corner as dangerously as possible. This is important to their self-esteem and their ecosystem, for without this particular factor, they will of course perish. Why they do it is beyond me. I've done it a couple of times myself to try and introduce myself, not unlike the anthropologists of old who introduce themselves into families of gorillas in order to make them get a better knowledge of how their social interactions occur. We might be very lucky right now. We have one bicyclist. This is a Grantius Dickius Minimus coming down. He didn't get very high on the berm, but that's okay, because he might make up for it in this jump here. He did not. It was terrible. The social anxiety that he might suffer. He will obviously go back to the tribe this evening and be mocked viciously. One of the grandest bicyclists of the 21st century, this group that I'm in today, Willius Tutus, comes round, but he's going to do a massive jump over this jump here. This is of course very important to the bicyclist because it makes them seem like they're important, when in reality they're driving downhill on an outdated form of transport. The reality of the situation is, of course, you would just buy a car, or an off-road car, or maybe something with a motorcycle. I'm going to try and get up close and personal with one of the cyclists. He's ignoring us. Mr. Cyclist, sir, do you even cycle? Now, quite clearly, he's gone into bike mode trance, in which case, he will only think of the next run. He doesn't even think of food. Oh, no, wait, he probably does. All the time.
You did just get the
Oh, I did double flip actually.
Oh, shit.
Like a back and then a front one in the air.
Oh my god.
I was a little rough on the landing, but you know, we gained more exposure. And, you know, you're right. And we break for trying triple.
Oh, baby, a triple. Oh. Did you get that? I don't know. We've been camping here for days to try and catch sight of one of the rarest type of cycles. Grantis Dicius minimus. Oh my god, we've seen 2 of them at the same time. This is unbelievable. I'll be the first reporter to ever experience this creature. That was quite simply breathtaking.
Wish I could wait all being wasteful.
You don't shit, mate.
Come on then, Aaron. Here you go.
You don't want me to ride your bike.
I don't. You just, when you do the jump, you then whip so that the back wheel.
Will is crushed. He wishes he was good. Can you give us a tear, Will? Give us a bit of a tear.
You look like you're crying now. I could extract one from you.